Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. And it's been a long winter, but I think spring is here. I'm filming this on Easter Monday here in the Cforces, and we had such a beautiful day that I took advantage of it and did some work on the 800. Did an oil change, did a little inspection, and I'm going to show you a couple things that I've done so far to get ready for this year's season. So hey, stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to a great summer ahead of trail riding on the 800. Okay, just checking out the front suspension. You'll notice there's no grease fittings anywhere up front, but I've just taken some white lithium grease. I've hit all the areas that I think move and potentially could, cause some wear. People have asked about front bearings, and I have not monkeyed with that at all. Not sure if I will at any point take those out and check. I kind of wish there was grease fittings up front here, but anyhow, there isn't. There is some at the back, and that's kind of where we're gonna go next. Okay, so here we are at the back of the machine. You'll notice there's two grease fittings, one here, one in here, on both sides. That's more of a chassis thing, but everything else looks pretty good. I'm just gonna grease them all up with some lithium grease and grease up the chassis and then change the oil. So while the oil's draining, let's open this up here and see what we got here from CFMoto. Oil change kit I ordered last year just to get ready for this year. First time I'm opening this, doing this live here, so let's see what we got. So as promised, we've got ourselves, thinking that's a filter, oil filter. We got 1, 2, 3 liters of oil, full synthetic. I think this machine takes 2.6 liters of oil. It's some sort of oil filter gasket. Looks like it's come off. Drain plug, crush washer, not a crush washer, but just a washer. I don't know what this box is here. Huh, nothing, just a spacer. So there we go. Right from the CFMoto website here in Canada, you can order your own oil change kit. That's what you're gonna get. So to get your filter out, 3 little bolts here to undo, 8mm socket. Undo these, the lid should pop right off. Set that up and do that for you next. There's your cap, O-ring gasket here. If you get a new one, you can replace that. So here's your new oil filter. Here's your part number if you want to look that up. But essentially inside, this is what we got. This new cartridge filter. Whoops, almost dropped it. Ready to put it in. We'll do that next. So here's the original drain plug. As you saw, the new one will come with 2 washers, probably because this kit does, I think, the 400, 500, and 600, 800. Even the 1000, so I would imagine the smaller washer, the copper washers for the smaller engines, and because this bigger one fits the one I need. So there you go. We'll put that in next. So after I tighten up the drain plug, I I think you need a 19mm socket for that. Put in 2.6 liters of oil, and I'll check that obviously as we go along, but that's what my bike is calling for. But after I put the oil in, I had noticed while I was underneath that the plastic skid plate had buckled. You can see there it was hanging down pretty good on the left-hand side. And what had happened was the front left bolt had actually had pulled through, or the plastic, the skid plate had pulled through the bolt that was holding that in place. So I ended up taking it down. I took it off and made it easier to change the oil anyways, and I did put it back up for now. Whether or not I upgrade to steel or metal skid plates, we'll see, but I put it back up. I just put a washer and on that one bolt and put it back in place. It should hold it for now, and we'll see if we upgrade from there. But a couple other things I did to the bike, and I did it last year. Shot some footage, quick one evening. When I ordered my oil change kit last fall, I also ordered a new air filter, and so it came from CFMoto. There's a picture of it there. Here's a picture of the old one, and again, that's about half a year's driving, and you can see how dirty it is. So I think it's a good purchase. It's pretty straightforward to peel off you got to take your seat off and peel that front plastic piece off around your air box. Install your new air filter. I sprayed it with oil, got it ready, put it in, pretty straightforward. I also one evening threw on a set of handlebar warmers and thumb warmer. Ordered those online, came shipped to my door, and one evening I started to do that. So you got to take your handle guards off, your brush guards off, pretty straightforward with an Allen key, and really the handlebars just kind of slid off. I did put brake cleaner in there, shot some air with my air compressor, but they just peeled off nicely, and then I just began to install. And I'm running, you can see I'm doing some video here of after I have the handlebars on. It's late at night. I'm trying to get this done because I'm riding the next day and it's going to be cold. But they went on fairly good. The peel and stick held. I did not spray any brake cleaner. I just kind of worked the handlebars back on. Yeah, they went on good. Ran the wires. Got things somewhat organized, but the big challenge was going to be tying this in for power. How am I going to power this? And so after I got sort of things settled and where I think they're going to go on the handlebars, I started to think about getting it powered up, and what I ended up doing was locating the two connectors that come out of the USB. There's a USB and a 12-volt socket, and I found those connectors. I traced the wires back, and it looked like there was two pink wires that were fed into this fuse kind of area. There's like a black fuse box area at the front of your bike, and so I found that, and I ended up just kind of splicing in and using kind of cheap connectors for the time being to get them to work, so that I could at least ride and not freeze my hands and thumbs. And they worked fine. And so I rode most of last cool weather that way, but I knew that I was going to try and fix that. And so today I actually tore that apart. I ran some new wires, made some new connections, soldered, did the shrink wrap, got it on, and it works great. So good addition. It's nice having a warm hands and a warm thumb. So anyways, there's a few things that I've done to get ready for this year. Looking forward to getting out on the trails, shooting some more footage, and bringing you some new content here. And so until we see you, happy trails.